Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today's going to be a lot of fun because we're going to be checking out a brand new shiny toy, and that is the Nano Cortex from Neural DSP. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. This video is long overdue. I've had this copy in my possession for about 6 weeks or something like that. However, I have been more or less on tour off and on for the past 6 weeks. So I've actually had a lot of opportunities to check this out and use it in different scenarios, which is what we're going to talk about. And yeah, I kind of more or less, I want to apologize, I guess we'll say, because, you know, this has taken me a little bit longer than I would have liked to have had to. Wait, what? This video is taking longer than I wish it would have taken to come out, but we're here today, today's the day, and we're knocking it out right now, okay? So thank you so much for your patience, I guess we'll say. So in case you're unfamiliar with who I am or what I do, my name is Xander. I'm a guitar player on YouTube, and I'm also a hired gun and a touring musician, more or less. I've been gone this year specifically, more or less since March, and I've played about 80 or so shows, all with Neural DSP products, okay? So I'm really familiar with the Quad Cortex and the Nano Cortex. I've had the opportunity to spend the last 6 weeks, like I said, on the road in several different states, checking this thing out, plugging it into different PAs, plugging it into my computer, and using it as my backup amplifier, just in case my Quad Cortex were to go down. So if this is your first time here on the channel, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on any sort of social media platform, any sort of streaming service to hear my own original music and hear some of the riffs that I create, not only for this video, but also using my Quad Cortex and any Neural DSP product. I'd really sincerely appreciate it, okay? So enough rambling, let's start this video off with a demo song and some riffs, okay? This is a portion of a song called Chronic Pain, written by yours truly, and it goes like this. So the Nano Cortex has been out for some time. I am not the first person to make a video on this, so I'm not going to necessarily waste your guys' time introducing this product to you all, but I will give my honest opinions and thoughts and findings with this, okay? And I do want to say that this video is in fact sponsored by Neural DSP, and I'm so honored to say that. They sent this copy to me to my house, and then it arrived and was waiting for me to get off the road, and they're asking me to make a video on it, showcase it, share my thoughts and opinions about it, but that's all I have to do, okay? So I would not call this a mini Quad Cortex. I would call this a capturer, if you will, because the Quad Cortex, if you guys are unfamiliar, the big boy unit or the big girl unit, it has a ton of different features, and one of the selling features is it has the ability to capture different rigs and then replicate them in the Quad Cortex. Well, in my opinion, the biggest selling point with the Nano Cortex is that, and it seems as though that's kind of what all the features and bells and whistles are gravitating towards and more or less enhancing the user experience. The Nano Cortex really is focusing on the capture feature, in my opinion. I mean, taking a look at the inputs and outputs, it's very minimal actually. We have a capture input, we have an input for our guitar, an output for our overall signal, we have a capture output, and then we have an expression/MIDI output as well, and that's pretty much it. So there's really only 5 ins and outs here, and they're all kind of more or less either just focusing on getting signal in and out and or capturing a tone. So it's pretty simple in my opinion. And what you also have to use in conjunction with the Nano Cortex is your phone or some sort of device where you can have the Cortex app and you can have the ability to sync, for example, your phone to the Nano Cortex, and therefore you can manipulate and alter your rigs and your tones on your actual phone. Now, for the duration of this video, I'm predominantly a hard rock and metal guitar player. That's like my genre, and that's what I like to create, as well as like some like kind of hardcore EDM and dubstep anymore, but it's all pretty much like intense music. That's what, you know, what I'm kind of known for and what I like to create. So throughout the duration of this video, I've had different captures on my phone and load it up into the Nano Cortex, and I'll be sure to label them with the different tones that I provide you in this video. But then once you have the actual capture loaded up, you do have some abilities to manipulate it. For example, you can mix and match different cabs within reason. You can alter the EQ. You can add some effects like reverb, delay, some modulation like a chorus, and a noise gate. So you do have some tweakability, as you know, a professional would say. Technical terms here, tweakability. However, the one negative I will say, and a lot of people have said, is there's no real overdrive ability in the Nano Cortex. You can't really just, you know, stack on an overdrive inside your rig. But I do think you can get away with that by capturing a favorite tone with an overdrive already on board. Therefore, you don't need another overdrive inside the Nano Cortex because you've captured it. I hope that makes sense. Now, like I said in the beginning of this video, I've been traveling with this thing ever since mid-October, so over a month now. Ever since I came off tour with Elijah in Point North, I took this back out with Tommy Vex and again with Elijah. I literally got home from Las Vegas yesterday, and I played a festival out there right in downtown Vegas on like one of the strips or whatever. And this was right here, at the ready, just in case my quad cortex went down, excuse me. So I do feel as though this is great for a touring and a gigging musician. However, in my opinion, this is just great if you want to really just capture a, we'll say, stock or kind of bare bones favorite rig of yours. Meaning like your favorite amp and your favorite cabinet. Like if it's an obscure thing or just one you're really dead set on and you want to travel with that, you can take your Nano Cortex and then you can build, say, a pedal board in conjunction with the Nano Cortex. Like if you want a overdrive, or if you want like a delay or a reverb, or a phaser, I don't know, like a very specific pedal chain, signal chain, but you have your stock and your tried and true captured sound in your Nano Cortex. I think that's where this would really shine. For me, it's not a replacement for my quad cortex, as I used the quad cortex for 3 acts this year: For the Fallen Dreams, Tommy Vex, and Elijah. So like, I personally needed a whole bunch of different routing options, and sometimes my quad cortex was a pedal board, sometimes it was off stage and completely clean, ran by MIDI. Sometimes I was, manipulating it in real time on stage, like actually playing it like an actual instrument. So the Nano Cortex isn't necessarily a replacement for me. However, I would definitely feel very confident using this if I was to, say, fly into a show, or I was strictly, let's say, a rhythm player and I wasn't doing any sort of pitch shifting or, tone shaping or anything like that, or clean to dirty, X, Y, and Z. Like, if it was just very simple and I just needed an awesome tone, I would definitely use the Nano Cortex. Speaking of pitch shifting, there is a pitch shifter inside of this as well, which is really cool. But overall, everybody, like I said, man, this is not a mini quad cortex, which is what I would assume it was going to be when I first heard about this. But that's just my own, assumption. This is definitely like a capture thing. And in my opinion, it's different than a quad cortex. And therefore, I think there's a market for this, and there's definitely like a space in the market for modelers and stuff like that, the digital age, for something like this. It's just strictly like a capture, in my opinion. It's very stripped down, very small and minimalistic. So it's not like a mini modeler, in my opinion. It's kind of its own unique thing, and that's kind of cool. So I'll turn it over to you guys. What do you guys think of my video, and what do you guys think of the Nano Cortex? Any of you guys out there have purchased one of these? Let me know what you like, what you don't like about it. I'd love to hear from you guys. And yeah, thank you so much for sitting through this video. Thank you so much for taking the time to like and subscribe and engage with me on any sort of streaming platform or social media platform. It really means a lot to me. Okay, everybody. With that being said, a huge shout out to Neural DSP again for sponsoring this video. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video very, very soon. Later.